Hello. So for this assignment, we will be choosing a partner, and my partner for this assignment is Makeda, and we will be choosing a case study from chapter 4 of the Hutchinson textbook, and one partner will play as the client, and then the other partner will annotate the video. So we will be defining the problem stated by the client. The case study that we chose was case study 4.2, and this was of Jack, and it's called Jack's Changing His Name. Um, we will be discussing the defining problems stated by the client, past issues that can help the social worker understand the client's current problem, and a list of the client's strengths, and also details discussing communication skills of the client or nonverbal communication. My name is Joyce Lewis. I am Jack Lewis's mother. Jack is 4 years old. A few months ago, Jack, myself, and his father, Charles Lewis, were all living together, and we were such a happy family. Until we weren't anymore. I never thought this would happen to me. I found out that my husband has been having an affair at work. I could not believe it. My parents went through the same thing when I was younger. It breaks my heart that this is happening to me. I told myself that when I had a family, my life would turn out completely different than my mother's. I promised myself that I'm not going to go through the same exact thing that my mother went through. My mother tried to stay with my dad for the sake of me and my siblings. This made my mother so depressed. My mother died at age 54 of a broken heart. My mother was so depressed before she died because of all of this. Knowing this, as soon as I found out that Charles was having an affair at work, I filed for a divorce, and I told him to leave the house. Since Charles left, he has not spoken to me or Jack. How could you not speak to your son? Charles currently lives with his girlfriend. I am so devastated right now. Jack asks for his dad a lot. He wants to know where he is all the time. I tell Jack that his father is the devil and his father is currently living with a witch, so he can stop asking. Jack is now having a difficult time sleeping since his father has left. He always wants to know when daddy's coming home. All I can find to tell Jack is that he may never see his dad again. I don't want anything to do with Charles, and I don't want Jack to have anything to do with Charles. I don't know what me and Jack are going to do, though. When it was three of us, we were able to live a comfortable life. But now that it's just me supporting everything, it's almost impossible. I have to pay all the bills, I have to pay the mortgage, I have to support Jack. It's definitely a lot for me, and I can't afford to pay the mortgage on this house right now by myself. So me and Jack are going to have to move. I'm going to be asking Charles for child support, but that doesn't change the financial hardship that me and Jack will be facing now that I am a single mom. I don't want Jack even speaking to his father since he has left us. He has not tried to communicate with us, and he seems like he does not want anything to do with us. So I don't want Jack to have anything to do with him either. Jack was named after his father as well. I have really been thinking about changing his name. I have been trying to explain to Jack why I want to change his name to the best of my ability. But Charles has left me and Jack devastated. Both of us. We are both heartbroken since he has left. Jack has been so affected by this, and to be honest, I have too. I truly don't know what we're going to do, but I know that I have to protect Jack. I hope Jack understands why I'm doing this. I'm trying to explain it to him the best I can, but he shouldn't have to go through this at such a young age. He's only 4 years old, and he's going through the same thing that me and my siblings went through with my parents. I'm really just trying to protect Jack and make sure that he does not have to face any more heartbreak. So, the defining problem, I think there is a lot of defining problems in this case. Um, so, the first defining problem is it starts from her husband cheating. And then her husband cheating brings her back to the experience of her dad cheating on her mom, and her mom going through a massive stage of depression until her death. That is something that resonated with Joyce, and she said that she did not want to go through the same experience that her mom had went through, and this is exactly what Charles is putting her through. And this is exactly what Joyce has been trying to avoid. And after that, since Charles has left, she has been struggling financially. She can't pay for her mortgage, so she's saying that she's gonna have to move. Her and Jack are gonna have to move to accommodate, the finances that is coming in, or the income that is coming in now. Because before she could live comfortably, but now she can't really live the same, especially because she is the only and sole provider of Jack right now. She does not want anything to do with Charles, and she wants to change Jack's name because she does not want him to have anything to do with his father either. And then now all of these problems have led to a problem in the child's well-being, because Jack is currently having trouble sleeping because of his dad's absence. So Jack is only 4 years old, but Jack definitely notices all these problems that have been going on in his environment, and it has been affecting Jack a lot, because he now has trouble sleeping. Like, he's not just asking for his dad anymore. He has trouble sleeping at night because he's wondering where he is. He's kind of not really understanding the situation, and he wants his father. And it's something that is definitely hard for him, because he did live with his father for a long period of time. And now all of a sudden that is something that has been broken. So it's definitely a new environment for Jack. And now Jack is kind of suffering from it because he now has trouble. Something else that has been affecting Jack, besides his father's absence, has been the way his mother has been going about his father's absence as well, because his mother is telling him negative stuff about what's going on in the situation, rather than trying to explain to Jack, exactly what's going on in, a way that he will explain. He will understand for his age. She's kind of saying, what she is saying, she's saying that your father is currently living, he's the devil, and he's currently living with a witch, right? So that is the light that Jack is kind of seeing the situation at, and he's not really seeing it in a positive light. So although it's not a positive situation, but the way his mother goes about it is definitely something that will play a role in how the child reacts to the situation. And now Jack is, as I said, having trouble sleeping, so that is something that can also be contributing to it, because he's not truly understanding the problem based off of his age, based off of his maturity, and his the way his mother's going about the situation, and just the situation at hand. But the situation at hand, it's going to affect Jack 100%, but his mother needs to be his support, rather than telling him, negative stuff about his father or negative things about the situation. She kind of just needs to be there to support him and hold him and console him when necessary, because she must understand that this is a sensitive situation for him. He just lost his father, and that is something that he has been used to since he's been born, because in the beginning of the case study, it states that they were living together until the mother found out that there was an affair, and then that's when everything broke apart. But for Jack, that is something that he was very used to, and that was his comfort zone, and now that was taken away from him. So it's understandable the way he is reacting to it, but it also comes into play where his mother and her words and the way she is helping him cope comes into the situation as well. So Joyce's strength consists of being accepting of the past and being able to choose a different path. So Joyce spoke about how her mom and her father had a complicated relationship, how her father also cheated on her mom, same way how Charles cheated on Joyce. and her mom actually decided to deal with the situation, and her mom decided to stay for the sake of the children, and she didn't leave her father. So that led to her mom being in a massive state of depression until her death. So based off of that, Joyce did in fact not want to be in this situation at all, where she can say that this is exactly what her mom was going through, but she was able to see her mom's situation and choose a slightly different path based off of the outcome. So Joyce did not stay with Charles, with his Jack's father. She did not stay with him. She decided that even though financially she knew she would be struggling, with Jack, she knew she would be struggling. She did not decide to stay with Charles based off of staying with him because of Jack. She made the decision that she did not want to be depressed like her mom. She also said that her mom died from a broken heart, right? So she did not want that to be something that she experienced, or she can say that, oh, when I died, my heart was broken. So she actually learned from her mother's experience, and she decided to choose a different path, and she did not stay with Jack's father. So that's one strength. And another strength would be understanding life changes that may occur for her and her son to live comfortably. So financially, she knows that she's going to be struggling. So she knows that she has to move. She knows sacrifices that she has to make financially. And I look at that as a strength, because some people, they're unable to see the sacrifices that they must make in order for them to live a specific life. She appears very protective over her son. That's one of her strengths as well. So she does not want her son to have anything to do with his father, because of the way that Charles has hurt Joyce and Jack. So that, I look at that as a strength, because she's definitely taking her child's feelings into account as well. So though the methods that she chooses may not be ideal for the situation, being protective and being trying to protect your child is part of being a parent. So being that she is protective of her son, that I look at that as a strength as well. So communication styles of the client. Joyce does not seem to have good communication skills when it comes to communicating with Jack. As I said previously in the video, the case study states that while in the room with the social worker, mom told Jack that his dad is the devil and his dad is living with a witch. So based off of Joyce's communication skills, I actually thought it would be interesting to know how you should actually address divorce with specific age groups. So psychologist Joanne B. Kelly wrote an article about how to tell children about divorce by specific age. So age by age, she decided to, break down or do a breakdown of how to tell children about the divorce. So for preschoolers, which would apply for Jack, she states that preschoolers need simple and concrete explanations. She tells parents to stick to the basics, which would be which parent will be moving out, where the child will be living, who will be looking after him, or how often he will see the other parent. And she also states that you must be prepared for questions and provide short answers, but be honest. And Joyce does not seem like she was doing this for Jack. She seemed like she was telling him negative things. Yes, she was short and brief with her answers. Yes, in the end, where it shows that she told Jack that she don't think that that she thinks that Jack probably will never see his dad again. That was a completely honest answer. But for her to go as far as telling Jack negative stuff about his father, this may lead to him having more questions, and it can also lead to a sense of confusion in Jack, because it's not necessarily true, but it's something that is trying to bring down the view Jack has of his father. So that's why I don't think that is a productive way to go about the situation. Joanne Kelly also states that constant care, nurturing, constant care and nurturing gives children a sense of stability and reassurance. And this is important for all children, but especially after divorce, it is important to give children constant care and nurturing. So this is something that, as a social worker, or as even as Miss Joyce's social worker, I will try to express that to her as much as I can, to kind of explain to her that that Jack is 4 years old. Jack, he may be struggling to try and understand the situation, and telling him negative things about his father, or negative, putting the situation in a negative light for him, is not going to be something that will help him overcome this obstacle, or overcome this heartache and heartbreak that both of you are experiencing. This will definitely just be making things harder for Jack. So I will definitely take Joanne's or Joan B. Kelly's advice in the article, and provide that to mom, and tell mom that this is the way that you can go about explaining the divorce to your child, rather than explaining it to him in a negative fashion.